Humans, King of Games, Champion J.W. Alice Star, welcoming you to That Lucha Show. This mic doesn't work, and it's been an action-packed episode of the newest AAA Total Conquista tour. This time featuring Cody Rhodes and MJF, which means we had a lot of new dudes in the Twitch chat that didn't really know anything about fucking AAA, so that made it for a very interesting and kind of cringy experience. We start the show with a 10 out of another 10 promo by Blue Demon Jr. He's like fucking 52 and he's still pretty gosh darn rad. The dude came out there, for those of you who don't know, his entrance music was like some weird computer glitching hullabaloo. Just like, and then just busts into some freaking Red Hot Chili Peppers. And the dude comes out there, styling and profiling in his freaking sweatsuit with Blue Demon on it, I think. And he just strolls up on down to the ring, and he cuts this really good promo where he's just burying the crowd. He talks to Wagner to hype up their match at Triple Mania. They're gonna be in a hair versus mask match, which is super cool because, I mean, I feel conceptually just because Blue Demon Jr. is old as fuck and iconic as fuck, it makes it important as fuck if their mask is on the line. To me, anyway. They're hyping up the match. He's burying the crowd. He's burying Wagner. He says that Wagner is just a fucking douchebag, just like these crowd members are douchebags. And he says that he beat his kids. He beat up Wagner's children and made them bleed, just like he's been making him bleed. He's gonna do it again. He's gonna shave his head at Triple Mania. It was a fun promo. Then we get into our first match, which is kind of, for the most part, was just like, hey, here's some new dudes that aren't super relevant yet. Here's where they get to do stuff. Yeah! That's fun. It was, Lowrider's team versus Freelance's team. It was just a giant, big ol' group of dudes in a big ol' multi-man tag match. It was pretty good. It wasn't definitely, I'd say it was it was my least favorite match of the night, but it was still, decent opener. Lowrider, he's like king of the opening match in AAA. That's kind of like his spot. He's always in these opening new dude multi-man matches. Lots of new dudes. The chat at the beginning of the show on Twitch was pretty fun, pretty dang dandy. Lots of, like I said earlier, lots and lots of dudes that were here because of Cody Rhodes being on the show that were asking, like, hey, have I missed Cody yet? Like, the whole show, there was new people finding the stream saying, hey, has Cody wrestled yet? Like, first match, and then all the way until the match actually happened, people were asking about that, which was really funny. Lowrider, at one point, he had, like, a slight slip-up of the ropes, like, he was doing a springboard, then he slipped for a second, but then he immediately ran into doing another move, so that's pretty good. A thing that definitely is common in a lot of lucha that I appreciate is, like, dudes do definitely, slip up a bunch, but, like, they're pretty quick at, like, saving themselves, which I think that's almost a more important skill than just not fucking up, is being good at making it less obvious he fucked up, because it's like, he was on the ropes, he's like, just ran right into a move, so, if you're, like, paying close attention to the show, you'll be like, oh, he slipped for a second. If you're, like, kind of half paying attention, you probably wouldn't even know anything happened. Freelance's team wins, and, that was the match. Again, decent match, decent opener, not phenomenal. But, it did its job. After that, we get another pretty gosh darn good promo by Los Mercenarios, this time with Conan. They don't constantly come out with Conan, so they busted out and dusted out the big boss man. Not to be confused with the wrestler Big Boss Man. I just realized that's a weird thing to call it. Anyway, Los Mercenarios and Conan come out. They grab the mic. They call themselves the #1 stable. It's Scorpion that's doing the promo at the beginning. They all grab the mic at some point and talk, but it starts out with a Scorpion, and then he does a roll call where he just lists all the dudes there, which is La Hydra, Taurus, Texano Jr., Conan, and a Scorpion, who introduces himself as your dad. He just tells the crowd that he's their daddy, which the English announce team was laughing about as they were translating it. This promo was really funny because first the Scorpion says he's gonna fight Psycho Clown. He's gonna take his mask. And then they say they're gonna take the tag belts from Lucha Brothers. And then he says he's gonna take the Mega Championship from Phoenix. And then they say that they're gonna take the Trios belts also. And then La Hydra at one point grabs the mic, and she's like, and I'm gonna take the Reina de Reinas championship. So just in one promo, they managed to essentially ask for a shot at every single championship and for a match for someone's mask. The only things they didn't ask for is the Mini Estrella's championship, because none of them are short enough for that. The Latin American title and the Cruiserweight belt. I guess because they already had the Mega Championship, which is the big boy singles belt. So if you're already going for the big boy single belt, you don't really need you don't really need another two, I guess. Then Taurus calls out Cody because a bit ago, I don't remember exactly how long ago, but at a point, he attacked Cody when Cody was at a AAA show, which is what set up their match tonight. So he calls him out. Then Conan grabs the mic, gives a bit of a promo in Spanish, then switches to English, so Cody Rhodes will understand him, which is probably good, because I don't think Cody knew what Taurus was saying when Taurus was calling out Cody. Conan, he buries the fans, calls out Cody. He essentially says that Cody's been burying him and that he should have came over under Conan's wing and he should have let Conan mentor him, but he didn't. And now he's in Mexico, and seeing that he's in seeing that Mexico is Conan town, Conan's and Los Mercenarios are gonna fuck him up. I mean, I guess it's kind of Conan town. I mean, he was the first CMLL heavyweight champion with the current lineage, and he's been selling out buildings most of his career in Mexico. So you know, I guess Mexico is Conan town. But then we get the next match. You know, solid promo, Los Mercenarios, killer entrance music. I liked it a lot. I have no idea what their entrance music was called, but sounds pretty dang cool. We got our next match. It's a big old giant 8-man tag. This one with the evil referee Tarantes. Technically I think his name is Hijo de Tarantes, because he is the son of Tarantes, which was another heel ref before him. Basically suspenders, the white suspenders dude, who is the evil referee. In quick succession, we have, hold on, I wrote these down because I would forget these names, because there was 8 people in this match. There was Latigo, Ultimo Maldito, Archangel Divino, Eclipse Jr., La Parca Negro, Dynastia, Lady Maravilla, and Big Mammy. Okay, context for this match, Lady Maravilla and Big Mammy have been in a feud because Big Mammy is mixed tag team champion with Nino Hamburguesa, But unfortunately for Big Mammy, Nino Hamburguesa has been seduced by Lady Maravilla. But unfortunately for Nino Hamburguesa, Lady Maravilla is super big evil baddie. Every time she comes out, the English speaking announce team hammers in the fact that she is evil, she is heartless, and she has nice eyes. She is a seductress, and she has stolen the heart of Nino Hamburguesa. So that way, she can use that in order to slowly weasel her way into stealing their mixed tag team championships. Because before this show, I'm going to point this out real quick, because this is my first time reviewing a AAA Lucha Libre show. But in the shows previously, for the last few months, Big Mammy and Nino Hamburguesa have been having tag matches like them and usually another dude, usually Dynastia, have had tag matches against Lady Maravilla and whoever her partners for the night are. And every time, because Lady Maravilla has seduced Nino Hamburguesa, and because of that, Nino isn't able to actually hurt Lady Maravilla. Every time he stops because he can't bring himself to do it, and she'll like shove him in a corner, and he won't be able to push her away because he is in love with her. And because of that, it constantly screws them out of matches. The show right before this one, what happened, it finally got to the point where Big Mammy was sick of Nino's shit because he kept running in the ring to stop Big Mammy from hurting her. So Big Mammy got sick of his shit and just shoved him out of the way so she could finish off Lady Maravilla. And she hit Maravilla with a big woman splash. And apparently injured her in kayfabe, and then a whole bunch of doctors came and dragged her away, but then Nino followed her because he was worried about his love being injured, but then later he like came back in to finish off the match, and then he dodged the hug from Big Mammy afterwards. So it's this weird love triangle thing going on that I probably went into way too much detail about. Sorry, but we got this big ol' 8-man tag. Interestingly enough, Nino Hamburguesa was not in this tag match. I guess Big Mammy decided she was sick of Nino's shit and was gonna avoid teaming with him when she can. Though, they are defending their title in this big multi-man match later, which Lady Maravilla is in. I don't remember her tag partner though, I gotta look that up. Maravilla and Mammy start the match, but not really. They're both the first two women in. They walk over to each other, and then fucking Maravilla bells, because she's an asshole. Fuck, I knocked something over. And then Dynastia comes in. Dynastia, by the way, also enters the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and he is the Mini Estrellas champion, which is the championship for the little people in the company. And Dynastia is just phenomenal, so they usually just fight the normal heighted wrestlers. A thing that is interesting I've noticed is usually Dynastia is in tag matches with a lot of women also in the match, so it's usually a lot of, it's men, women, and then him. So usually, he's a little person, but because there's also women in the match, and some women who are very short in the match, usually, like, they're here, then the woman's here, then, the men's here. So, he actually looks less small when he is in matches where there's also women in it, which, it makes it easy to forget sometimes that, oh yeah, you actually are severely short. There was a funny moment in the Twitch chat where basically somebody in the Twitch chat said, man, why is there like 16 La Parcas in this company? And the English announce team's like, no, there's not that many La Parcas. There's only La Parca, La Parquita, La Parca Negro, Mini La Parca. Oh, okay, actually, there's about 12. We're sorry. You're right. Which was hilarious. that they just were like, oh shit, yeah, we have a lot of them, don't we? Fuck. A lot of the match was like a super fast pace. It was a really good match. I stopped taking notes not too long into the match because there was just so much fucking shit going on. There's 8 people and they're all moving really fast, and AAA doesn't give a fuck about the rules 90% of the time. And this was the evil ref, so he gives even less of a shit than the normal ref. So there was just all sorts of people running around. I couldn't really keep track enough to grab my pencil and jot things down. I was already doing this number just to take this many, so it was a mess. But that didn't sound table. But the MVPs of the match by far was Big Mammy and Dynastia, which is usually the case in these matches. Like, every time these guys have a match, Dynastia always steals the show, because they're unbelievably acrobatic, and they're just fun to watch. They also had a tail in this match for some reason. I don't know why. I guess they're a furry. My fiance was calling them baby furry like the whole show, so I guess they're a furry now. But Big Mammy, despite being that company's a big woman, she is very agile. So she was still running all over the match. There was this one funny part in the match where, okay, like, you all know the setup. There's a group of people, like a whole bunch of random dudes, just like kind of standing like this while somebody like gets up, runs over, and like does a dive and bowling pins them all over. That's like in every wrestling show ever. They did that setup where one person did it, but then that person and all the other people got back up, and then and waited, and then another person did dive onto them, and it just kept repeating it while different people kept diving on these groups of people that would then get up and awkwardly shuffle over and stand there while another person bowled them over. It was just happening over and over again. Just, and I'm not talking like throughout the match. No. I mean, it happened throughout the match too, but they sat there, got bowled over, and then the next move was them getting bowled over again. And this just kept happening. It was so silly. Until finally, the last person to finish this off was a Big Mammy, the big woman, who then, from the second rope, just murdered everyone. So that was delightful. Big Mammy was about to get the win. She already hit the splash. She was like, yeah, I'm a win. But then Lady Maravilla, the villain that she is, came out with a chair, smacked her in the head with a chair, tossed it, made the pin, 1, 2, 3, chair shot the head as a finisher, and, then, you know, she's celebrating, but then Nino Hamburguesa comes out. His theme hits. He has the funkiest theme in wrestling. I don't care who you are. Your theme is not as funky and dancey as goddamn Nino Hamburguesa's freaking thing. I love it. It's just in there like, it's awesome. Look it up after you're watching this video. This theme is quality content. So Nino Hamburguesa comes out. He's not dancing, he's just running to the ring because Big Mammy just got hit in the face with a fucking chair, and he comes to check on Mammy because he's worried about his tag partner, Big Mammy. And then Lady Maravilla's like pushing him away, like, no, well, you're supposed to love me. You're not supposed to care about Big Mammy anymore. And then he gets mad at her, and he wags his finger at her, and then he leaves angry, mad at Lady Maravilla for hurting a Big Mammy. Which is awesome because this is like the first time I've seen him actually get mad at Lady Maravilla, because it's usually just him getting mad at Big Mammy. He usually doesn't bitch when Maravilla hurts Mammy, so it was nice to see. I'm excited for next month when they're defending the belts, because what I'm really hoping for is they decide to have this really nice, wholesome moment where Nino Hamburguesa and Big Mammy manage to settle their differences and stop their quarreling, and for Nino to be a good boy and to choose Big Mammy over the evil seductress, Lady Maravilla. I'm hoping that happens. I don't think it will. I think this is gonna end with Lady Maravilla and her tag partner, I gotta look up still, seducing a Nino and him costing him the match. That's what I think is gonna happen, but I hope that's not what happens. I hope Nino and Big Mammy are like, no, fuck you, Maravilla. Big boys for the win. Good match, liked it a lot. The live crowd and then the Twitch crowd was super into Big Mammy. Just the whole match, people were chanting for Big Mammy on their keyboards on the Twitch chat, which is great. I love to see Big Mammy so over. It actually emotionally touched my fiance a bit, because like Nia Jackson, WWE is a big woman. She gets a lot of hate all the time. Nyla Rose is a big woman in wrestling, and I mean, Nyla Rose doesn't get hate for being a big woman. She gets hate because some people are transphobic, but Nyla Rose also gets some hate in there. So for the crowd to just be so into Big Mammy, it was actually really touching for my fiance, because it just made her really happy to see a big woman in wrestling just get a universal, huge appraisal. Damn, no one's shitting on her. Next match, we get Golden Magic and Lady Shani, the former Reina de Reinas champion. Lady Shani, by the way, comes out in the ultimate babyface move with a legion of children. She just enters with a legion of children in masks and AAA t-shirts. Every single show. This isn't like a special entrance. No. Every show, she comes out with a legion of children who are like, yeah! Wrestling! Lucha Libre! Yeah! And it's really funny, dorky, and hokey. And just like such a like obnoxious babyface move. But I love it. And then they're fighting Villano III Jr. and La Hydra, who earlier said she's going to be the next Reina de Reinas champion. By the way, Reina de Reinas is being defended in a seven-woman TLC match at Triple Mania next month. I think it's 7, could be 8. But, billion women, basically, in a TLC match, which will be delightful. The women's division in AAA is fucking top tier. Obviously, it's not as high up on the list of women's wrestling as maybe like some Joshi companies in Japan or just any other all-women's companies, because inherently if you're an all-women company, you're gonna inevitably end up pumping out some more good women's wrestling stories just by, you know, the sheer amount of time focused on them alone. But AAA, a wonderful thing they did is they've just 100% normalized intergender wrestling in AAA. Like, it's not like oh shit, this person's fighting a woman, oh fuck, it's not even at that point. It's been so normalized in AAA that when you see men and women fighting in AAA, the crowd's not like, ooh, he hit a woman, or ooh, she's fighting a man, oh boy. No, they're just like, yeah, they're luchadors and luchadoras, they're equal. What do you mean? This is normal. This isn't weird at all. Like, everyone is just completely used to it, and it's not even like, oh, go her for fighting a man. No, it's like, yeah, it's just normal. They're all equal, which is how I think it should be. So it's just nice that it's this level of normalized in AAA. It'll probably be a long time before it gets normalized in the US like that, though. Villano. I almost forgot to mention this. Villano III Jr. When Villano III Jr. comes out, he doesn't enter to like some generic rock music. No. He doesn't enter to normal copyrighted Big Popus. No. Villano III Jr. doesn't just enter to some Bon Jovi, Red Hot Chili Peppers shit like the rest of the company enters. Villano III Jr. comes in here, guns ablazing, full confidence, hot pink fucking mask, X on their fucking face, entering to Batista's WWE theme music. music. No fear. Total confidence. He doesn't even think for a second, hey, man, I'm stealing a more popular wrestler's theme music. He doesn't think that for a second. He doesn't, like, have a Batista shirt, or a Batista tattoo, or a Batista parody when he is entering. He doesn't, like, do the Batista thing as a tribute. This isn't a tribute. He's not doing this because he's like, man, I just want to be the Mexican Batista. No, Villano III Jr. is coming out here, he's like, I'm just fucking stealing Batista's music and he can't do a goddamn thing about it. And he does it. And it is fucking hilarious. I love it. I always forget to. Every show with Villano III, I go in here, because I always remember that there's some fucker who steals Batista's entrance music, but I forget all the time that it's Villano. So I'm sitting there, and we just, Villano's name pops up on the screen, just like, boo-doo, 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 doo-doo, boo-doo, boo-doo. Yeah! It's fucking hilarious. I love it. And La Hydra. Villano III, by the way, MVP of this match, not just because of the theme music, just because he's just murdering dudes in this match. Fucking poor Golden Magic. He takes some bumps. Actually, Villano does too. He does later. But, Villano, he just picks up Golden Magic from a failed dive attempt, and just spine busters him on the entrance ramp. And this isn't a normal wrestling entrance ramp. No siree, Bob. They decided to not have a stage to make more seats, so the ramp is just a big, long, metal staircase. Not shit you want to be landing on. And he just picks this dude up. Just, no hesitation, just, smacks him on it. Then later, he also picks him up and powerbombs him on the apron. The hardest part of the ring. Or so we are told every show. The announcers actually never said that on this show, which I kind of liked. We get, at one point, Villano keeps dragging him out. This whole match, by the way, fuckers keep throwing other fuckers into the crowd onto people, because their barricade this show is half the size it should be. So every 2 seconds, someone's like, ugh, and someone flies over there into the fan's lap. They're just, like, sitting like this on the freaking crowd, like, hey, what's up, boy? Ow! Fuck! Ow! I got stabbed with a pushpin! Help! Help! I need assistance! Call the Marines! Anyway, so the match goes on. Fuckers flying into fuckers. That should be AAA's fucking catchphrase. Lucha Libre, fuckers flying into other fuckers. The television program. So Villano just straight up keeps slamming Golden Magic on these stairs. And it gets to a point where he's done it so many times now, he drags him up there again, he's about to do something, and Piero, the babyface ref, the Technico ref, the good boy, clean, lovely family man referee boy, he strolls up there and he's like, bro, just fucking knock it off, bro, come on, don't. he just goes up to Villano, he's like, come on, we've had this like 5 times, just stop. And while he's doing that, Golden Magic just grabs, he was held down, he just pulls Villano into a backdrop, also on the fucking steps, which had to suck for Villano. But Shawnee ends up pinning Villano. Villano's feet were totally on the fucking ropes, but the ref didn't see it. And, yeah, Shawnee didn't really try to tell the ref either. So, that looks bad for those kids that he came out with. But, whatevs. Next match. We get, Dave the Clown. The 6th clown in AAA wrestling. We get Dave the Clown, Tessa, Chic Tormenta versus Nino Hamburguesa, Apache, and Taya Valkyrie. But while Dave the Clown is entering, he just comes out with like a smoke machine in his hand that's shooting purple smoke. But this isn't like usual like Undertaker white smoke coming out, or a little light fog, just a little light fog, set the mood. No, this fucker Dave comes out, guns ablazing, fog ablazing, with the thickest smoke physically possible, and he's holding it like this in the crowd's face, because there's no entrance stage. It's just a thin ramp with seats next to it. So he's holding it like this. It's just in the crowd's face. And it's so thick, the crowd probably can't even see him enter. He's just walking like, yeah, fuck you guys, you can't see shit. Bet you wish you'd show some different seats. And while he's entering, the English announce team, I can't remember which one said it, but one of them's just casually mentioned, I hate clowns. Which, I don't know how much you guys know about AAA, but if there's one thing you should know about AAA, is AAA has a lot of clowns. There is 6 individual clowns in AAA. There's Psycho Clown, Monster Clown, Murder Clown, Mini Psycho Clown, Pagano, who I'm wearing as a shirt, and Dave. Dave is number 6. So the fact that this announcer says he hates clowns, but he chooses to announce for the company literally with the most clowns possible is hilarious. But, well, Dave, when he's stepping in the ring, another funny announcer thing, they're like listing things that Dave hates. They're like, Dave, he hates children, he hates women, he hates good guys, he hates him. He hates himself. It was hilarious. So it was just super funny. Just super funny. By the way, this is another suspenders match. Piero was the last match. This is another match that has a heel ref, a rudo ref, a villainous scoundrel criminal, which is always relevant for the plot and how it plays out, because suspenders always gives faster counts for heels, and he every once in a while he likes to be more lenient with them, which doesn't always matter because AAA doesn't really follow the rules when there's a good guy ref either. But whatever. Then, as opposed to Piero just gives everyone a slow count, while suspenders only does slow counts for babyface and fast counts for heels. But plot relevance, Patchy is in a feud with the referee in this match. Suspenders and Apache hate each other. They have fought a ton for the last couple of months. So this whole match, Apache's just pissed at the ref, and the ref is going out of his way to fuck with her. He even grabs her by the hair and throws her down at one point. At one point, it's Nino gets fucking Samoan dropped, which is crazy. Then, let's see, Suspenders, yeah, he just fucking hates on Apache a lot. Nino does his usual spot where he'll set up 3 people in the corner, then he'll run over to the fucking other corner, and then he'll do a cannonball at him. Then he'll go back to a cannonball on the second person, go back to a cannonball on the third person, and, he does that spot every match. They escaped. At one point, Tormenta straight up just high-fives the fucking referee, which is hilarious. That is just so blatant. Like, they don't Tormenta doesn't try to hide the fact that she has the ref in her pocket. She's just like, yeah, let's cheat! Fuck these guys! Pretty decent match. Not as good as the last match, but pretty decent. I always love seeing my boy, Nino Hamburguesa. Tessa pins Taya with, her hammerlock DDT, I believe it is. And, then the ref gives the fastest fucking count ever. The count was literally... So, that happened. The babyface has had this one, 3 separate times, but he was giving... this kind of count. So, that fucked him over. Nice to always see Taya. I like Taya a lot. Apache is a fucking badass. Dave. I'm having some trouble getting behind Dave. I mean, he's fine, but there's so many other clowns in this company that I feel like if you're just another clown, but you also have the worst name out of all the clowns, I feel like it's a little hard to care about you, because I got fucking 5 other clowns. And we already got Psycho Clown, who's the big crazy baby face. We got Pagano, who's this badass fucking anti-hero, who's my favorite clown, because if you need to know a thing about motherfucking Pagano, is Pagano's got that big clown dick energy. Then we got all those other clowns, so I don't really need a Dave, but we got Dave, so that's fine. I won't miss him if he disappears, but I'm not, like, upset he's there. He's just something. He's just an additional clown to meet their clown quota. Next match, we get Eterno, Averno, and Chessman. Averno and Chessman are part of the OGTs, which loosely translates to English as the Great Talent Organization, but because how nouns and descriptors are set up in Spanish different, it comes out as OGT. They are fighting Laredo Kid, Puma King, and Aerostar, or as I like to call them, the Bon Jovi team. And the chat was freaking the fuck out in this one, because, okay, first you get Eterno, whose gimmick is being the Pope of Satan. Which is fucking hilarious. And as he comes out, the fucking crowd decides that he looks like this one Mexican musician, so they're like chanting that musician's name at him and burying him. Then you got the OGTs, Verno and then Chessman. Chessman is essentially a man who stole Wolfpack Sting's look back when Wolfpack Sting was relevant, and then has been stealing that gimmick longer than Wolfpack was even a thing for, because he's still wearing Wolfpack Sting's face paint all these years later, and it's fucking hilarious. Laredo Kid comes out. He was also in some AEW shows, so he's a little popular in the Twitch chat now. But he comes out to good old Bon Jovi. Everyone in the chat's freaking out because, being used to American wrestling where everyone has licensed music, usually custom theme songs or generic rock, it's unusual to hear somebody come out to a, really well-known song. So they're all freaking out. But then, the coolest cat, Puma King. Motherfucking Puma King. I love this fucker. This is the coolest cat in the business. He comes out also to a different Bon Jovi song. So now the Twitch chat is in an uproar because we have just had 2 Bon Jovi songs consecutively in a row for this team. They're freaking the fuck out. Then, the man, the myth, the legend, the suicidal Aerostar, who goes out of their way to kill themselves every fucking match. We get a helicopter noise going, "It's my life!" It's My Life just blares, and the crowd loses their shit in the Twitch chat. Because now, not only is this the 3rd Bon Jovi song in one match, alone, but he comes out with a lighter and a can of fucking Axe, and just turns it into a flamethrower, and he's just going, yeah! And it's hilarious. This isn't a weird thing, by the way. This flamethrower thing wasn't like a joke. No. This fucker does this literally every match. Every match he enters going, yeah! While It's My Life is blaring. I love it so much. Interestingly, some background, Laredo Kid is the Trios champion. However, there was an interview, a backstage segment, where La Parka was telling Laredo Kid that he should stop being Trios champion and stop doing Trios action so he could go into the main event scene because he's ready, and he should just drop the belt and let the team replace him with Golden Magic. which is kind of funny and kind of buries the trios belt a lot if it's something you just want to drop. But it seems that Laredo Kid has accepted this because he did not come out with the trios belt. He only came out with the cruiserweight title. So he's probably dropping that belt to Golden Magic. So I guess Golden Magic just became one of the trios champions by not doing anything. Then, you know, fun match. I liked it a lot. It was slightly slower than some of the other matches, but it was still really good. I mean, only slightly. I don't think it was really slower than the tag match before. Not the one before, but the Golden Magic Shawnee match. I don't think it was quite as slow as that one, but this one a little slower than some of the other ones, so it was easier to take notes. Amazing match. I love it a lot. Laredo Kid should be the main event of the company. He should not be over here. He should be up here in the main shit of the company. So should Puma King. Puma King is my fucking boy. Puma King is 10 out of another 10. He is wonderful. Aerostar also should be... Actually, what? I don't know why these guys are in the middle of the card. Aerostar, Puma King, Laredo Kid, those guys should be fucking on top of this company, but... there's a lot of good talent here. And there's always that in wrestling. There's always guys that are... There's always somebody in some place that you think they should be someplace else in wrestling. That's just gonna happen. But I love all three of these guys. Ironically, I like them a lot more than the other team they're fighting. But, Verna at one point, he just straight up chucks Aerostar up in the air, and Aerostar flies up so high. Like, he chucks him, like, freaking several feet up. He just picks him up in the military press and just shoves him up in the air. But he just keeps going. He's probably still going up. Fucking Puma King, despite having, like, kind of a dad bod, but then also a really wide chest, this is a wide man, he's not, like, fat, he's just kind of a bigger dude, and he's really wide shoulders, but, and he does have a bit of dad bod, not like fat, but dad bod, he's really fast and agile and acrobatic. I mean, I guess, you know, it's Lucha, so you probably should be those things, but, way faster than you think you should be. This was my favorite match so far on the show. It was super good. Lots of spots, lots of crazy flippy shit, all the kind of things that you're watching Lucha Libre for. Aerostar at one point has a little bit of a diving botch. He was running to the rope, and he's gonna do running swanton over the top rope, but he doesn't jump very far, and he trips into the ropes a bit. So instead, he just, like, starts falling face first, and is, like, next to the rope. He's just, like... and then his feet sort of graze the dude in the face. But, it was sold well enough to where it wasn't that bad, and Aerostar didn't get hurt, thank God. Puma King, hits, Puma King hits sort of Canadian Destroyer and gets the win, which I'm happy about. I'm glad my boy Puma King gets the win. The coolest cat with the victory. Coolest cat with the coolest moves. However, while Puma King is celebrating, out of the darkness, a monster clown comes out and attacks him, but then attacks Aerostar. And then he just... keeps attacking Aerostar, like, a lot. Like, usually in a beatdown, you, like, go, you punch this guy a bunch, you pick him up, you do one big move, and then it's over. Monster Clown does, like, 3 separate big moves that probably could have ended the beatdown, then he just kept going. He just beats the fuck out of Aerostar the whole time. There was F's in the Twitch chat, and sad crying faces. It was a mess. Eventually he takes him down to the fucking stairs, metal ramp, and just slams him on it, and hits him some more, and then he like lands like where he's kind of like next to it a bit. Everyone's devastated. Monster Clown, for unknown reasons, just murdered Aerostar. He took a lot of bad bumps in that beatdown. Hopefully he's not actually hurt. Then the funniest moment of the night happened, because to this point, you know, it's been a joke in the chat about Bon Jovi, but we're seeing a dead, lifeless Aerostar after getting murdered for like 10 minutes. And then his own theme music plays. You think, when Monster Clown beats down Aerostar, it would play Monster Clown's music afterwards, but no sorry Bob. It plays Aerostar's music. But ironically, Aerostar's music is an edited version of It's My Life by Bon Jovi. So while we see Aerostar sitting there, dead, like a lifeless corpse, we hear the helicopters going, then just straight into the refrain. It's my life. It's now or never. I'm not gonna live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. While he's dead on the ground, and the chat lost their mind. I lost my mind. I loved it. I love the show. I love you fans watching my show, about the show. I love everything. Next, we get the match that a lot of people wanted to see. Not the match I was most hyped for on the show. That was the main event, but the match that was the draw that was bringing the most people to this Twitch chat from America was this one, where it was Cody Rhodes and MJF from All Elite Wrestling coming to fight Taurus from Los Mercenarios and Daga, who is just another random heel who happens to be hot. This, by the way, another evil referee match, another Rudo referee match, with suspenders. Except, the funny thing is, Cody Rhodes is a heel, like, 60% of the time. He's a good guy in this match, but Cody Rhodes, he's back and forth, whether he's a good guy or a heel. It really depends who he's fighting. And MJF is a 100% dick heel. So because of that, Tarantes, the referee, he's actually just doing kind of fast counts for both teams. So because they're both at least mostly heelish, he's just being nice to both of them. Taurus, jacked, big, beefy boy. This guy's packing like 75 kilos worth of meat. And I'm not talking about his packs, this is a big guy. They come out, then when Cody and MJF come out, it's a little awkward because usually in AAA, they have like their name, bar of color, and then just a transparent JPEG in the corner of the wrestler that fades in and out with different JPEGs in a slideshow. Cody Rhodes comes out to the Titantron he uses in AEW, so he's the only fucker with an actual fucking moving film on the Titantron, so it was really weird. It looked really awkward. But he comes out, he's like high-fiving the fans, taking pics. He's like, yeah, I love you guys, I'm a babyface tonight. Who knows what I'll be at the next pay-per-view, but tonight I'm a babyface! And then, he's playing Technico. But then behind him, good old classic Rudo, shit-eating heel MJF is behind him, flipping people off and telling them to suck it right behind Cody's shoulder. Which is funny. Some people were hating on the dynamic of Cody wrestling as a Technico while MJF was wrestling as Rudo in this match. But I thought it was really funny and charming, personally. They do that the whole match. It's a running theme. They get in the match starts. Cheers for Cody. He's really over. Cody and Daga, they have a pose-off. More people are cheering for Cody. That kind of fluctuates through the night because seeing that MJF gets a lot of heat. Every once in a while, the crowd will also boo Cody because he's next to MJF. They have a very, very, very okay match. A 3 stars kind of match. They get a C plus kind of match. It's really, Like, I'm glad I watched it, but it was kind of which is ironic because this is the match that a lot of fans came for, because there's a lot of hype for AEW, and, you know, AAA is usually a little more of an obscure kind of thing out in the States, so because of that, the Twitch chat essentially was doubling tonight, for Cody Rhodes. At the highest point I saw for the English stream, not counting the Spanish one, I saw it at 6.7 thousand, and that was peaking during the Cody match. Once this match ended, I have it written that it dropped to literally 3,000 flat. So, a lot of people came for the Cody shit, and unfortunately, they didn't stay to see the main event, which sucks. For them, mostly, because the main event was a better fucking match. This match was really okay. This match probably should have been the middle match, and then Laredo Kid, Puma King, and Aerostar, that should have came up after, but, you know, Cody's a big deal, so, you know, they got the match. 3-star, classic at best. Yeah, shit just kind of happens. At one point, MJF tags himself in. Cody's like, okay, what the fuck, dude? Then MJF ruins everything for him, because then he gets beat up and pinned by Daga. Then the Los Mercenarios, big ol' evil, big bad stable, comes out and beats the shit out of MJF and Cody. At one point, Cody kind of makes the save, but then they attack him more, so that happens. And we get the next match, which is a lot better, thank God, because if the next match would have been just okay, it would have been kind of the show would have kind of dipped down a bit for me, but they stepped it up a bit for the main event, which was nice. The main event was Los Mercenarios, Texano Jr., Reyes Scorpion, and then them teaming up with Blue Demon Jr., who, you know, I was super hyped to see after his killer promo at the start of the show. Then they are fighting Pentagon Jr., which this is exciting because Pentagon and Rey Fenix, they're touring the whole world, doing matches all the fucking time. Especially in the States. So they're doing so many matches in so many different companies that they don't actually appear in AAA a whole lot. Like, it's kind of infrequent. Because they just wrestle so fucking much all over the place, they just miss a lot of AAA shows. So it was super cool to see Pentagon here, over as ever, because he's, how can you not like fucking Pentagon Jr.? He's too fucking lovable. He comes out, he's teaming with Psycho Clown and Dr. Wagner. Dr. Wagner and Blue Demon, two old fuckers, still main eventing, but they're both still fun to watch. Wagner at the very beginning of fucking course was jumped by Blue Demon Jr., and in classic Dr. Wagner faction, he is already bleeding and busted open. If you're a fan of Lucha Libre, then you probably are already aware that Wagner just likes to bleed all the fucking time. He's like Ric Flair with bleeding every match, but usually not quite as bad, but he bleeds like every fucking match. He's already bleeding, but he's the first entrance. They're entering separately. So, Wagner's out getting beat up by Blue Demon and bleeding, but his friends aren't out yet. So slowly, everybody else comes out. Like, next you have Penta, and he's like, yeah! You know, he's like posing. Just not noticing Wagner's dying. And then we have Psycho Clown, who is also coming out with their own legion of children. And they have so many children, they actually can't walk down the ramp, which is really funny. So poor Wagner just gets fucking murdered for a while before his actual friends are there to help him. Just bleeding a shit ton. Wagner, he's whipped by Texano, Psycho and Pentovine. Pentovine Jr. God damn it. They're just beating the fuck out of Wagner for a lot of this match. And at one point, Psycho Clown and Pentagon Jr. are legit just outside the fucking ring, like, holding each other up, resting, walking around, while Wagner is getting triple stomped by 3 fuckers. So, you know, come on, guys, help him out a little bit more. There's this bad DDT on the stairs, with Wagner doing it on Blue Demon to get a little bit of revenge. This spot was kind of funny, because Dr. Wagner, he pulled Blue Demon Jr. over. He's holding him. Hold on, I got a mannequin. Hold on. He's holding him. He's got him in the DDT. And he's gonna do it. But he sits there. He's looking at the camera. Just holding them. Just holding them. Not gonna do it yet. You know he's gonna do it, but he's not doing it yet. Until, Psycho Clown and fucking Pentagon Jr. finished their spot. He was waiting to do the DDT on the steps in sequence with Pentagon Jr. and Psycho Clown finishing their spot, which was super awkward because he was just standing there waiting for a while for it to happen, but then also the camera cut to the other two wrestling for a bit when they were doing their part of the move, so it still wasn't in sequence, it was like right after. So he's just holding them. Then we cut to a synchronized move from Pentagon Jr. and Psycho Clown. Then we cut back to Dr. Wagner, and he's finally just like, DDT! So that was kind of funny. The DDT actually did look fine. It was a fine-looking DDT if it wasn't for the really long pause, which was super awkward. Psycho Clown and, I can't remember if it's Texano Jr. or a Scorpion. I usually tell them apart by Texano having a fucking rope, but I think it was a Scorpion. They were fighting out by the announcer's desk, and at one point, Psycho Clown pulls him onto it, and then he DDTs Scorpion on the announce table. But it doesn't break, it, like, dents a little bit. And then he's like, oh shit, I gotta break this. So he steps up a little bit, and then he does an elbow drop onto him. And the table just sort of dents a little bit. It's not broken by any means, it's just sort of like, it's like broken a little bit to where you need a new table, but it didn't like break through to where it looked cool. And the fucking English announcers are like, that table's destroyed. Destroyed, but it's just fucking dented. The table's not even broken. So fucking Blue Demon gets busted open by Wagner. They're both biting each other in the head. 2 old men bleeding everywhere. Fucking Wagner grabs him by the mask, rips the eye open. Not his literal eyeball, but the mask around the eye area. He rips it open so you can see that he's bleeding, he punches the wound more. We got 2 50-year-old dudes fucking bleeding here. Ice cream? Throughout the match, there's really loud Cierro Miedo chants, you know. Good ol' Pentagon doing his usual thing where he does that, and then the fucking Miedo, he like shoves the dude's face and shoves him away. Loud Sierra Romero chants throughout the whole show. At one point we have a sort of springboard backstabber situation. It's, you know, the usual shit where you got, I'll use this one, you got a dude that's like in the corner, another dude running at him, and they kinda like hop over the other dude. And like hop over him. And the dude hits the corner. It was that. Except when fucking Penta did it, he flipped over and then pulled the dude from behind into a backstabber, which was pretty fucking cool. I always love seeing that. I just love the backstabber in general because I'm a huge goddamn mark for Carlito. Psycho Clown has a bigger mohawk than usual, I feel. I feel like he has a bigger mohawk on his rubber mask every time I see him. Great match, I like it a lot. Lots of fighting in the crowd, really enjoyable. Everyone gets their shit in. Pretty dang fun. Finally ends with Dr. Wagner Jr. hitting the Wagner driver on Blue Demon Jr. for the win. Really cool because most of this feud for the last couple months has pretty much just been Blue Demon Jr. just beating the fuck out of Dr. Wagner. Dr. Wagner's just this poor old man, because, like, with Blue Demon Jr., I know he's an old fucker. But he wears a mask. It's covering his whole face, so even though I know he's really old, it hides his face, so even though I know he's old, it doesn't feel like he's as old. Well, Dr. Wagner's already been unmasked, so you just see this old man bleeding profusely. And for months, Blue Demon's just grabbing Wagner and just making him bleed all over my TV. So seeing Wagner finally get a little bit of revenge by hitting that Wagner driver, which is basically a Michinoku driver too. Seeing him finally get that was pretty nice. Helps give him a little bit of momentum heading into their match at Triple Mania, which again will be a hair versus mask match and will be the main event. After the match, that fucking ice cream truck. Even though these two are really old and really, not very mobile anymore, and really should not be in the main event scene anymore with how old they are and how many young athletic talent there is on the card below them, I still think they are really enjoyable. I'm still hyped for their match. They're really creative with finding ways to hype up this match with a lot of blood and a lot of just beatdowns and biting. It's managed to get a match that will probably be the least athletic match on the card, but I have a lot of emotion going into it. I'm really excited for it. Seeing that these are two really big legends in Lucha Libre, Dr. Wagner Jr., Blue Demon Jr., these two are iconic. We're gonna cut to our Lucha correspondent Crap Shoes. We're gonna cut to him over down in Chicago and get his words on this AAA show. Crap Shoes, what do you think of the show?
I don't watch AAA.
Great. Then Los Mercenarios come out. They just beat down Wagner. Los Mercenarios is just beating the fuck out of Wagner because they're assholes. Cody Rhodes comes out, makes the save, and then Cody and Dr. Wagner, they shake hands, they hug, the bromance between Cody Rhodes and Dr. Wagner forms. I didn't think that would be a thing, but it's a thing. Then Wagner goes on to cut a pretty generic babyface promo. It might have been less generic, there in the arena for the Mexican crowd, but for me, the translations I've read, it was a pretty just standard babyface promo. His delivery of it, was fun, enjoyable. He has a voice very similar to Hanma in Japan, where he has that deep, gravelly smoker's voice. But really fun. He says how he's going to take Blue Demon's mask at Triple Mania, and then it's the end of the show, and cuts to the song Bad Medicine. Because of course it does. Overall, phenomenal show. I loved it a lot. I stayed up really late to watch the show. The show started at like 10. It ended at like 1:30 in the morning, and I had to be at work and working by 8:30. So I didn't get a lot of sleep, but it was really worth it. Delightful show. It was one of my favorite events I've watched live this year, I would say, in terms of how much fun and how hyped I was. It didn't have the best matches of the year. It had some really good matches, not the best matches of the year. I wouldn't say any match on this show was good enough to be like my top 5 matches of the year, but just the flow and how the flow of the show and how invested I was in it and the story and the promos, it was probably one of my like top watching experiences of the year. Just all around enjoyable. Seeing a lot of fan crossover from All Elite Wrestling was pretty cool. Also a little bit cringy at times because there were some fuckers who were only there for Cody Rhodes and they made sure you knew it, which is a little annoying. I wish more of the AEW fans that were in the chat would have gotten a little more into the main event and things after, but as we saw from the drop to 3K after Cody left, that was probably the case a bit, but not as much as I would have wanted. I would have liked, 6.7, obviously not all of that's going to come into 1 a.m., but I figure it's 1 in the morning already. 6.7 thousand. I was hoping at least like 5,000, 6,000 of those people would stay to see the main event, especially with Pentagon Jr. in it, who they all would have known, but it didn't happen. It dropped to 3K, which was really sad. Kind of funny, because Cody came out later anyway, so they fucked up, but still, great show. Despite some cringiness, the chat was really fun. I got shouted out by the English announce team because they read all the Twitch comments, and they shout out some of the people they see there once in a while. And I had my name, Flashy JW, read off at both around the beginning and the end of the show, so that made me happy. But just all in all, great program.
Bye-bye!
Thank you.